Hello, everyone. Doing well and had a very restful weekend. Today, we're starting our week with Karim Abou Shousha. He is going to be talking about lighting and specifically using Unreal Engine. And he's going to give us a very quick overview on how he got to where he is at the moment. So, Karim, the floor is yours.
Hi, Ashraf. Hi, everyone. First of all, thank you for joining me. I'm so happy to be with you today. My name is Karim Abou Shousha. I'm senior lighting artist at Ubisoft. I joined Ubisoft a year ago, and I'm really happy to join them. And we are working now in the game. It's called Skull and Bones. And I will give you some tips and some experience that you will be able to work on lighting if you want, or to apply for as a lighting artist, because lighting is very specific job, and it's not easy to get a job in lighting. You have to know something. I think you have to have more experience in lighting, especially in the real life. So I think it's better to start show you something in the engine, and then I will show you some technical in the real life. So for me, before I joined Ubisoft, I worked in the many companies in the VR games and some small projects, but I had a lot of patience to work in AAA game, because since I started learning 3D, I dreamed to become a lighting artist, especially in the games, and work in the game like Max Payne. I don't know if you know the Max Payne or not, but this is the first game I played in my life. Actually, we can say AAA game. And from this time, I started to try to learn 3D. I worked for 10 years as a 3D environmental artist, and I was a senior environmental artist too. But during this time, I focused more on lighting, because as I remember, 8 years ago, some of my friends, he told me, Karim, you have something is good in lighting side. And when I saw my work and tried to create something is called photorealism, I saw many comments. They said, yes, your light is good, so why you don't work as a lighting artist? And from this time, I got too much patience to focus on lighting. I work in the environment side, because to become a lighting artist, it's part of to become an environment artist, because it's gonna help you too much to make a nice lighting in a different mood, because you know it's very hard to get some free scenes. So when you have your own scene, you create your own environment. When you create your own world, so that's gonna allow you to create your own light and your own mood. Why choose the lighting? Because with the lighting you can do everything. You can tell the story. Just imagine you have we can say you have a city, and this is city, there is no light there, or you blend your eyes, so you can't see anything, you can't feel anything. So that's powerful of lighting. So without lighting, you can't see, you can't feel anything, you can't do anything. So the light source, it's we can say it's a magical tools in the 3D world. Even in the real life, when you are in the at night, or in the desert, or in the sea, if there is no moonlight, you can even see anything. Okay, so that's why I'm always say the light is very important for you as a 3D artist. The lighting, some people, they thought it's the lighting is just a tool, but actually is not the tools. Lighting is something more technical. We have three things in the lighting. Something is called the key lights. What we're gonna do with your lights. So what you want to do in this scene, you want to make something is horror, dramatic, action, or something romantic, or something else you want. This gonna be with the lighting and the color. The second thing, we're gonna talk about the color harmonies, how you can choose your color harmony, and the color harmony you can make the feeling. So with brightness and the colorful colors, you can feel happiness. Like if you are in the springtime or the summertime, you're gonna feel more happiness, more happy. But when you start going to the fall time or winter time, you start to feel depressed, and that's happen actually because the light and the atmosphere it change from you, and you don't know about this, but in your side you start to feel this. So that's why I'm always say the light, you can tell the story without with the light. So you can just use the light in your scene and you can say, hey, what's going on here? I need to tell you this scene, it's romantic scene, or it's an action scene, or the horror scene. So that's the overall of the lighting, and let's start to show you some tips of lighting. Okay, we're gonna start first with the basics light. There is something very important. It's called three point of light. What does it mean? In any scene, in any place you want to set up your light, you have to know there is something called 3 point of light. 3 point of light is mean we set up three source of light in our scene to light the scene. It's the same thing. It's happened in the cinema, or if you want to record, if you want to create your own program on YouTube, or you want to shooting anything, you have to put this light in anywhere, even in the 3D world. So when we start to put the light, we start something that's called first key light. The key light, it's a big source light in your scene. So the key light, it might be sunlight, come from the sun, or it might be come from the window, or it might be come from the lamp, or anything in your scene. So the big source light, it should takes about 70% of your light. So when you see, let's find something here. When you find the photo like this, if you are a photographer or you want to put 3D character in your scene and you want to light it correctly and follow the technical lighting, so you have to put first the key light. And the key light, as you can see here, it's take about 70% of this picture. So the key light, it's big, this big spotlight here, it's called the key light. And the second thing, it's called fill light. Okay, the fill light, we put the fill light, it's gonna be the mirror side of the key light. So if you have the key light in the right side, you have to put the other key light in the left side, and this should be you reduce the amount. It's about 50%. Okay, so and the idea here to light the dark area, because when you put the big spotlight in the side, you're gonna have a darker area in the other side. So that's why you have to add the other another key light to light this darker light. And please don't try to leave this side is darker. You might see in the movie and the photos, for example, here it's dark or black, but actually it's not. There is we can say it's a little bit of light, but sometimes they put it's about 20% of the key light or 50%. It depends of what you want to say in this scene. Okay, and the third one, and this is very, very important, and we don't use this only in the character. I will show you why you can use in the environment overall. It's called backlight or rim light. The backlight, it's basically this edge line. And the idea here to make the separate or to selection the main character or the main object from the background. If you want to have a depth in the background, you have to put in each depth or in each element, you have to add this backlight to light the scene, and this is gonna give you more depth and more feeling. It's the same thing when you try to paint any image, or you work on you draw anything. If you want to have depths, you have to select to make selection or highlight any object to just make it visible from the background. Okay, you can use this in the environment, and I will show you some image here. Okay, so if you look at this image, as you can see here, it might feel that it's come from the sunlight, but actually I am not using the sunlight in my environment. I'm using spotlight, and then I add this backlight to just make this grass is visible from the background. Just imagine that this, just 1 second, you can see here, I think if we save it and open in Photoshop, I will show you exactly what I mean. Okay. And also we can see this one too. As you can see here, I put some spotlight around the place. You might feel here it's okay that this lights just come from the sun, but actually it's not come from the sun. I add couple of spotlight like in the doing in the real life to light the scene and make it more cinematic. Okay. So if we open the Photoshop and let's open this timeline. Okay, so if you look at this image, you can even see anything in this image. Everything looks flat. There is no depth, there is no feeling. But when you start to add your spotlight and light your background, you start to get more feeling. You see here the difference between. Let me select the selection here. Just look at this part. And when you light this, it's something is very, very, very basics, and you might not see it, but actually it's very important to light this. And when the director or any technical artist, they see your GIF or your breakdown, they're gonna say, yes, I think you have enough experience in lighting and how you do this in your scene. We actually use this in our games too. In any games, we try to light some elements or to put some back light to make the object separate from the background. Okay, you see here there is one light here, there is one light here, there is 3 light there. So that's how we start to add the light in our scene. Okay, and in the end you can get this. Okay, in the game engine or any software, it doesn't matter what software you use, but if you have this kind of experience from the real life, you will able to do anything in your scenes. It doesn't matter which software you're gonna use, because in any 3D software, you're gonna see this about 4 or 5 type of light. The skylight, it's called HDRI, or directional light, sunlight. Sometimes in very it's called sunlight, or point light, or spotlight, or rectangle light. So this all kind of type of lighting you will find in any software. And to use this and make nice mood, you have to know how to use the light from the real life. Okay, and the technical side, it's mostly important. Okay, so as I said, you have to use the 3 key of light. It doesn't matter if you are using character or not, but as I showed you here in the, for example, this one, to light this scene, any for any normal people, if they're gonna see for example, this environment, they're gonna say, yes, the lights come from the sunlight. But I will give you one tip here. Don't try to use the sunlight in any 3D software, because the idea here, when you add a spotlight, it's gonna separate the light in everywhere. But actually, if you want to make something cinematic, something more has more feeling, don't try to use the big spotlights, mean the directional light. in your scene, because it's gonna make your scene it's 100% flat. And actually I saw many image from different artists. They have a big issue with the lighting because they use the direction light or the sunlight, because as I said, you don't have a control to make this light going in some specific place. But with a spotlight and different type of lighting, I never tried to figure out good lighting in my scene. You will do. You will do. After you see this, I think you will do. So if you look at this scene, I need the light come from the sun, okay? But in the same time, I have a cloudy time. And with the cloudy time, sometimes I need the light, it's come through the cloud. And when the light comes through the cloud, sometimes if you are looking the sky, you might feel there is just a small spot, and this small spot just light small area. And this is what I want to do. I have a cloudy day and just I need the sunlight come through the two clouds, okay? So to use this, I use spotlight, big spotlight, and I put it temperature, and we're gonna talk about the temperature after, as a sunlight when sun sets, and then I start to add couple of lights here, as you're gonna see here in the background, one here and one here and one there and one there to light the scene. Okay, and let's save this to an important to Photoshop. Okay, so as we talked before, you start to add the key light. This is called key lights. Okay, this is a key light. This is a big light. Okay, the big source light, and then I add one more supported light to have one more light. If we go back here, okay, this is actually this is a rim light. Okay, this is a rim light to make this the background separate from the to make the skull separate from the background, and then here the big spotlight. And as you can see here, the spotlight, it's a bit light the darker area. Will be there. Will be there. Q and A. What does it mean? Oh, okay, question. Okay, sorry. All right, and here too, I add one light because I need to light this area and make it visible. One here too. One there to have a backlight. Okay, and here I add a couple of clouds to make more depth, and in the end you can feel this. And when we go zoom in on this character, you can see here there's backlight on here to make her separate from the background. Okay, if you look at this character, I make the light comes more from here and don't add the light there because I need to blend from with the background and her leg to make it blended. Okay, so these all techniques you're gonna know more when we start work on the engine, and I will show you how you can set up a correctly in the engine. Okay, so now you got some tips about the 3Q flights. And the 3Q flight, you have to use it in any 3D environment you are using. Okay, so the idea, as I said, the idea from the backlight to light any object you want to make it visible from the background. So you might have about 1,000 objects in the background, but you need to make you might have the destroyed city, and destroyed city you need to put a robot in the background, and you need this robot to make it visible, so you just add a backlight to make it visible. Okay, and as I said, you can use it in the studio setup if you're gonna take the photography photo, or you can use in any 3D scene. Okay. And to get more knowledge, you can just write in Google 3-point of flight techniques, and you will find a lot of them, and you can see how you can do it correctly, because you have to follow some steps. It's about the how many meters away from the object, many things. Okay. This is the 3Q flight. The second thing, we're gonna talk about the color theory, or the color harmony. Why the color harmony is very important. I will show you something here. Up movie hospital scene. This is my favorite movie, by the way. And if you want to become a lighting artist, I prefer you to watch this movie. And after this session, you will have more vision, and I think you're gonna need to see this movie, and I will tell you why now. Let's start here. When they got married, everything here you can see it's colorful, it's grass, and illustration too, it's very bright. So everything here, it looks really bright. Okay, so that means they are happy, and even you, when you see this scene, you will feel the happiness. Is that correct? So when even here, everything here looks very beautiful, looks very powerful, saturated, over saturated too. So that's mean everything here, it looks really happy, and they are very happy. But after that, when she got sick, you see here the color is 100% different. It's dark, it's low saturated, there is no light. That means they are very sad, and you start to feel, oh my god, no, I wanted to back there, because she's very, very sick now. You can see here, everything here is very dark. There is no saturated, there is no color. Even their clothes is not bright like before. So that's why Pixar always play on your emotion. And as a regular people, or they don't have experience in lighting, they start feeling, oh yeah, that scene is very happy, but this scene looks sad. This all because of lights, and this all because of colors. So with the color, as I said before, you can tell the story. Now I tell the story. If you see this picture and ask anybody, even if your kids, if you ask them what you see in this pictures, he gonna say, I feel they are sad, she's sick, there is something is not good here. But here, yes, that is, they are very happy, they enjoyed. So that's why the light is very important, the color very important. If you remember the scene you see here, it's more depressed. The color, even the house color start to what I want to say, it start to lose the coloring. Okay, I'm not sure if you're gonna see this here, but you see this this image, for example. You remember this image? They were in the springtime. So in the springtime, or the summertime, they was very happy. And here in the fall time, so they start to feel depressed. And I think the most of us, when the winter coming, we start to feel, oh my god, that's depressed time, I don't feel well. So that's all emotion inside you. It's come from the lights and the coloring. When she are in the hospital, everything here looks darker, looks less bright. You see here, his clothes is not bright like before. Even when she passed away, the color and everything here, it looks bad. Okay, you see here the sunset. You can play with the key light. Now it's mean this, when normally when they put the sunset in the scene, and when you have the less saturated, that's mean you lost the hope. So this scene, it's mean he lost everything. He lost his wife, he lost his love, he lost everything. So he lost the hope. So there is no more colors, there is no more happiness in the scene. Everything is come dark for him. So after this, you need really to start to rewatching the Pixar movie, because I'm highly recommend to watch the Pixar movie and start to focus in each scene, because in each scene tell the story without to hear anything. Okay. And that's what I'm trying to use in my scenes too. When I use anything, as you see here, let's go back here and get some different of light. No, not this one. If you look at this scene, I made this scene to have a more happiness. So, and this is the way for the happiness, or the way for the success. So the altar here is too bright, too shiny. We have a rainbow here. So that's mean everything here, it looks happiness. Okay, so that's why you have to make everything looks bright. And here too, I used my key lights that we took before. I put the key light, and here the backlight to make this object separate from the background. Okay, I'm not sure if I have the. Yes, I think in the video you can see the breakdown here. No. Okay, doesn't matter now. When you get another scene, this scene, it's more calm. There is romantic, but I try to make it's everything here, it's calm. There is nothing dangerous. So it's a cloudy day, but also you can see here I put the 3 key of light. Here is the key light, and in the background I add the backlight to light this object, and here in this tree too. So you have to put the 3 key of light in each scene you worked on. This scene, as I said, it's beginning with the fall time, so the color is more in the fall time. As you know, in the fall time, the trees start to change, so it's turn it from the green to more yellow. Oh, sorry. You're an orange, so when you add the cloudy day or something like this, you have to ask yourself what kind of trees I'm gonna put in my scene, because it doesn't it not make sense to make the scene it looks in the summer and put the tree at the fall time. So it's not make sense. So one more thing, you have to follow the nature, okay, in the real life. That's why I'm always say to everyone, if you want to become a good environment or a good lighter, you have to go outside. You have every day to go outside and start to take your camera or your phone and start to take some picture. Try to go around in the different time of day, in the morning or at 3 p.m. or at night or in the evening. So at this time you're gonna have more feeling, you're gonna have more different light, different time. And when you see everything in the real life, I think you're gonna have more experience, you're gonna have more material, you can use it in your scene. And that's why I came as a photorealism artist in the beginning, because I was every day going to outside and took 100 photos in the different places. And when I came back, I tried to use them in my scene and try to simulate the real life in the 3D world. Thank you. Thank you, Sasha. Sorry. Thank you, man. Okay, so as I said, is not difficult, but you have to know this kind of experience to or this kind of knowledge to become as a lighting artist. Okay. Also, it's hard a bit, but I I took a course in the scuba diving to know really to good know how the light absorbing in underwater. And I had a big project underwater, and I took a course in scuba diving to just go under the water and see how the light is gonna be absorbing what's happening in the light when it hits the surface. So it's a challenge, but when you to put yourself in this challenge and try to learn this from the real life, you will do anything in the 3D. That's a good side study. Oh, thank you. Okay, so I made this project with Aaron Sims. This guy, it's very famous, and he worked in the Hollywood movie since I think 15 years ago, maybe. Uh, oh, that's good. That's really good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, so I think that's time to take your camera and go underwater and try to take some photos. It's gonna help you too much. Because when you start working the lighting, there is some specific or some technical side too. If you want to know more about this, but we can say underwater light absorbing. No, yes, here. Okay. So if you put the light in the underwater like everyone, I think you might wrong. But if you want to know how to do the light underwater correctly, you have to look at this image. Yes, but it doesn't matter about the red and green. It depends about how far you go in the deep. Okay, so the most important thing you have to know about what is the light, how we can see the light. So the light in our life, it's come from the seven rays. It's called the rainbow rays, as you can see in the winter time. So this rainbow, this color rays, when he hit any surface, it start to have something different, like absorbing or scattering or something else. So when the sunlight hit the surface, the water surface, it start to absorbing this light, and when you go more depth and more depth and more depth, it's gonna absorb one rays. So they started to absorb the red color, and then when you go more like here in 10 meter, the absorbing the red color and the orange and the yellow. When you go in 20 meter, the absorbing the green color. And when you go in really depths or in the ocean floor, you will only have the blue color. And if you want to take a look here, if we have this point of light, okay, and here the color plate, if I want to do the same thing, I'm gonna say, okay, I need to red light, it's gonna be 0, okay, and we here say, okay, we have the blue and the green, we need the green, here it's 50%, okay, and here it's 50. Oh, sorry, I need to keep the blue, okay. You see here, if I take the green and the red down, you will get the blue color. And this why you have to follow this kind of techniques. Yes, I already recorded a session on YouTube for the same thing. Okay, so as I said, is not easy, but it's easy to find this information on YouTube. So when you start to use any scene, as I said, it depends of your scene. If you look at this scene, I go more depth. So that's mean I keep some green, because when you look at this, we're not even in the high depths here. No, we are in the 10-meter away from the server. So that's mean I have to keep more green in my scene, and also I have to keep the yellow. But if I go more depth, like in where the scene, yeah, for example, this one here, in this scene, I'm 100% in the ocean floor on very high depths. It's about 50 meter or more, so you can't even see anything here except the blue color. Okay, so that's why it's gonna make your scene more realism, more real. And when you talk about this in your scene, any director or any supervisor, he gonna read this, he gonna say, yes, this guy, he know how to use the light correctly. Okay, and believe me, this is not something you can say wow, no, but this is a very basics. But unfortunately, there is nobody say this in the social media or in the tutorials. So try to use this and just get this tip and try to find in your real life, and try to use it in your own scene. You see here, we are here in about 5 meters away from the water surface. So there is a blue color, but still I have green, and I have some God rays. Also, the God rays, it's important. So it's not make sense to make the scene, it's about 50 meters away, and to put the God rays is not make sense, because the God rays, they have a limited to hit the surface. Okay, so the same thing here in this scene. So as I said, just try to search on the reference, take a lot of reference, and try to watch it and see what you want to do in this. Yes, God rays, yes. Yeah, the God rays, it's mean yes, the beam of light. Yeah, exactly. Okay. This scene is one of my favorite scene too. I made this scene to make this elephant, how is the elephant suffering in their own places. So if you see the color and the light here, it's only one spotlight. Everything here looks dark. There is no saturated, even this hash in the background, in the floor, everything looks low saturated. And if you just see this image, you will feel, yes, this is an elephant, it's suffered. Everything here, you're gonna feel with the lighting, okay, and the spotlights. Okay. One more thing, it's important to the camera. When you use the camera in your scene, you have to know how to use the real camera in the real life. Okay. When I made this scene, it was trained on the Quixel and Unreal Engine page, official page. There is nothing here. There's just tree, small tree here and the bug, and that's it. Okay, but the idea here, because I took this scene like in real life, if you want to shooting the image like this, you have to be very far from this object, because this object, if you are close from him and try to take the picture, he's gonna fly. Okay. No, the modeling is not, but I textured the model. I downloaded this model from, it was free model, but I textured and I do the rest. Okay. If we look at the wide angle here, you can see I made everything here to just take close shot of this. Okay, so I will never take this image like this if I don't do this. Okay, so I make the water surface, I made the grasses and the trees and everything, and I put the camera very far from the object, and then I use my lens, so I zoom in too much to get this image. And before I took this shot, I searched on Google and said, as I remember, camera, lens, zoom from far side. I'm not sure, but yes, I try to search on Google and see what type of lens I'm gonna use it. And as I remember here, it was, I'm not sure if I say this or not, but in the engine, it's right because I'm really forgot the number, but I think it was 50, maybe 50 or 100, no, 110, I think it was 110. So if we have this camera, boom, here. What is the zoom here? Yes, yeah, it was 110. Okay, with 110, you can take really, it's gonna be very zoom, and also it's if you want to take the focus and out focus like this, you have to put your camera very far and start to zoom to use the zoom, because I can get any focus in the camera if I don't use this. Okay, so if I have the camera like 50 or something like this, I can take the right zoom. But when you have the zoom in like 100, but because I don't have the I don't have any nearest object, but let's try to, maybe we can use this here, but no, I have to move the object to be closer more from the camera. And here, yes, you see there is enough space between between the grasses and the trees and the objects. Yes, exactly. Yes, I do. So that's how you can take this shot like this. So if you look at any, like telephoto photography, yes, exactly. Yeah, I do the picture. All the picture I made by myself, and for that, especially the bug, even the substance. But the idea here is not about the bug. I just try to make simple scene. And as I remember, when Unreal Engine shared this scene, they said it doesn't matter how much you have an object in your scene, but be simple, be nicer, I think, as I remember. Yeah. So here's the idea. It doesn't matter to have a lot of objects, but if you have good vision and make something more realism, I think you're good to go. Okay, and that's why I'm always give advice for all artists. Don't try to put in your scene a lot of objects. No, just try to focus on the story and what you want to do here. Okay. If I show you this scene I'm really like it. This is my this is my apartment outside here. every day when I back home, I look at this place and I start to feel something. It might something is wrong here. What's gonna happen if there is zombie comes here in this way? What's gonna happen there? So I took this image, and when I back home, I start to make my modular assets in 3D Max, and then I put it in the Unreal Engine. I start my own vision and my own imagination, okay, to make this place. So as I said before, everything you can make it from the real life. Okay, so you can use your own room and to start to have your own imagination. Okay, this room, I might see the aliens come from the roof, for example. So you can create your own room and break it and make the aliens comes from the window or from your roof. So that's how you start to use your own environment in your real life and use it in your scenes on your 3D to make the story. Okay, so you see here everything, even this edges and this edges, I use the same thing in my scene. Okay, so that's how you can make a nice scene with a very basics idea. Okay, also this scene, it was something I dreamed before, so I was scared a bit to wake up at night and go to the kitchen to drink water or go to the toilet, and I'm always thought there is a monster that's gonna come from the window. I'm always dream of this, and I was very scared when I was young about this time, about this feeling. So when I got a chance, I decided to use this, but I used also, I called this candy monster. So he put some candies to make these kids follow him to come here. And as you can see here, I use the color harmony to make to make a color harmony and make the story. So this the half part, it's yellow. That's mean it's more warmer and more peaceful. But the other side, it's darker and the blue, and there is a shadow of the alien here or the monster here. So hey, what's going on here? There's something that's behind, but he can't see it. So there's one edge here, it's between the peaceful or the happiness, and something's gonna horror is gonna happen here. Yeah, me too, we all do this, but my dream always to I dreamed there is a monster comes from the, or the devil comes from the window. I dream this a lot, so that's why I use this even in the kitchen window. So so yeah, try to use your imagination too in your scene. It's gonna help you too much. Here I try to tell people what I'm doing here. I use the color harmony here, the two color harmony. It's blue and orange, and I use them here. And I talk about the rim light, the key light, the fill light, and the other key light here. Okay, so yes, this is the basics of lights. Okay, what else we can talk about? Okay, so I think it's time go to the engine, and I will show you something here, the engine. Okay, and sorry, one more thing, maybe we can talk about this image. There is something is called the body language of the object. Everything in our life, it looks random, even rock, tree, grass, everything around us, it looks random, but actually there's something is called the body language, because everything in the real life, they have his own language. So when you try to use any environment or create your own environment, make sure if you put small rock in this place, try to make sure why I put this rock. There is this rock. It has a story. This rock might has a war here, so it might broken or have a curved or bended. So in each position of this object, you will tell the story. At the 3 point of light, refer to moving object to in the games, yes, but it depends about your scene. For us in the games, we create some two lights. It's gonna be enough. It's a key light or an fill light, and it's gonna follow the character. But in the cinematic shots, they try to put in the white range and just make the character move around this place like in real life. In real life, they just set up the light in the cinematic. So if you go here, cinematic light setup, you can actually see the light here, but they are moving from shot to shot. Okay, so they always move the light, but does not follow the character, but they move them. For example, here they try to fake the sunlight. This scene they might take it at night. Okay, but when they shoot, you feel it's in the morning because they use the fake lights to light this scene. Okay, so in each place they have different lights, and if 100% they move them depend about the character moving. Okay, so yeah, this object, for example, when I made this object, it was very basics, but I tried to talk here about what I did here. To know more about the body language, you have tried to search in Google to try to know what does it mean, because the body language it's mean about the shapes. So most I don't know if you ever see the movie. It's what's called the Boss Baby. The Boss Baby, in the first minute, he when he tried to tell the story, he said the most of the stronger shape is triangle because he was three. So the father and mother and the son. So they said we was the tree, so was very, very strong. So that triangle shape is one of the stronger shape. That's why if you look at the pyramids, you see, wow, that's very huge. It's very historic, and it feels very, very, very strong. So the shape language too, it makes different. So Pixar movie and other movies, they try to use the shape elements. Sometimes they build the environment from the rounded shape or cube shape or different else. So here I try to use the the triangle shape to make him okay. So he's in the cave and he's not free, but he's still strong. I put a big fire camp light to make his face scary, more stronger, and also in the up there it's blue color to make the nice color harmony between them. Okay, so the shape language, it's important too to use in your environment. Okay, I will now talk about the Max Payne remake. I made the Max Payne remake with some of my friends. It's just fan made art because, as I said before, it's one of my favorite game, and the first time I start to think about the 3D learning because of Max Payne. So I made the Max Payne house here. I tried to make the same light and same thing in the Max Payne, but I will show you something here. Let's hide this lights. I will add this light, and let's turn this to red. Okay. Now, if you look at this scene, you start to feel, oh, it's a bloody mood. There is something is wrong here. I am not feel safe here. Um, if you play Call of Duty, for example, you can see in the beginning of the sequence they use this color. So because the beginning of the war, so and this color was turn it and make a alarm, and this always used for to alarm you. Okay, it's in exit or even you can see in the ambulance cars or anything else. So the red card it's mean hey, it's alarm. You know, it's alarm. So there is something is wrong here. Be careful here. So when you put this color in your scene, so that's what that's mean you say something's wrong here. But if you turn this to green, like in Max Payne 2 or Matrix, it's a dreamy. That's it start to use, yeah, I am in dream, or I might take the Python to make me dizzy, or I took the drugs. Okay, so that's the other side of the real life. So you know, it's more I'm not stable. I am I can even see the real color or the real motion in my life. So with the color, you can just control of your story. Okay. If we go back here, the color here started with bright color. Everything looks nicer here. It's safe. But when we start to go to the second part here, because there is something happening here, there is shooting here. So as you can see here, the color here is more darker. Okay, and just one spotlight light all of this scene. So hey, what's going on here? There is something's wrong. It's not bright like before. We go here, you see a strong shadow. There is many strong shadow in the place, and the color here too is there is no colorful here. Even if when I add this in my scene, it's not in the real scene, but I added to just make more color harmony. You can see the colors here is not bright. Okay, it's darker. Even the box here, everything here is more dim, more darker, less saturated. There is no saturated here, because I want to say here there is something's wrong here. Okay, when we go up there, even the bathroom is looks I don't know, but it looks smooth, it looks scary a bit, less saturated too. Even the planets here is less saturated, because I don't need the player feel yes there is happiness here. No, there's not happiness. And if you remember, we could use the sunset to make the losing hope. Okay, you remember in the Up movie, I use the same thing here. It's a sunset time, so he losing hope because his wife and his daughter is dead already. Okay, when we go to the kids' room, as you can see here, it should be bright and more saturated, but no, it is still less saturated, because the kid here it's died. Oh, I feel sad here. Oh, I don't know what's wrong. Boom. Okay. Rest in peace. Okay. So this was the color. Okay, we're gonna go here in this room. There is nothing that's happening here, so I keep the light like in Max Payne movie, Max Payne game. But when we go to the bedroom that the wife she did here, I don't know if you played Max Payne before or not, but if you played, I think you will understand what I mean. So it should be Michelle Payne sleeping here, and she's dead. So the color here is red, it's bloody, so everything is over here. She passed away here. Okay, so just imagine this game made it 20 years ago, 21 years ago, and he was very care about the color and the lighting. Yes, true. Oh, this game is everything in this game is amazing. And by the way, they are working now in remake. They're gonna make the remake in Unreal Engine. So I'm so excited to see how it's gonna be looks in as a remake. And it's gonna be a big challenge to see if mine it's gonna be better or not. And we make this in a month, just with a few artists. Yes, yes, true. It's not the same doors uh, scaling, but yeah, well, as I said, it was just fan art. Okay. Uh, if you are working in the games, you have to get some knowledge about the modular assets. There is something different between the environment in the movie and the games. In the games side, we are using modular assets. What does the modular assets mean? As you can see here, we just create some objects like in Legos and put it together, snap together to make the place. From 5 or 6 objects, you can build a big house just with a few objects, okay? And that's how I made the Max Payne. So you can see here, it just plain here. And if we hide this is the double side. You see, it just very basics objects, and it made the full house. And if we open this one, you can actually see this. Okay, this is my modular assets. The modular assets, we have many parts. The first part, it's walls and the objects in the place, and the second part, it's in the called props. So the props is it means the fireplace, doors, chairs, lockers, or tables, or something else. Okay, so when we use this, we model everything, and then we put it together in the engine to make the place. Okay, and that's how the game's build. Any games you build it like this. Okay, they have to use this, but in the environment or in the movie industry, they use the different techniques. You can create your environment as you wish, with any way you prefer. But in the game, you have to follow this instruction to make your own game. Okay, so yeah, that's overall for the light and the everything. As I told you, when you use your light, I just need to go back to the Max Payne to show you something more technical too, before we take any question. Max Payne. Okay, so. If you are working in the games, be careful how many light sources you are using. If you look at this lights, I use one spotlight with the small radius. Why I use the small light with a small radius? Because when you put any light attach it to any props, light props, this object is called light props. So you might put in another places, and this place might have about 5 lights, source lights, or 6 source lights. So in the game side, you can have more than 4 light overlapping. What is the overlapping? Okay, if you are looking this light and take another light here and take another light here, go to yes, light overlapping here. No, light map, light complex. Yes, here, light complex here. Okay, You see this radius? This radius, it's in the game side. It said you can add more than light as a radius here in the same place and make them overlapping. But you can create your own light with a small radius. Now you can use it anywhere. It's good. So if I copy this, okay, and put it here, now the radius is small here and it will never attach this. So now I can copy about 4 or 6 or 7 lights props in the games, and it will not affect in my performance because I have enough space between each light. But you will say, okay, this light is not stronger enough, or the radius is not enough as a real life because it might cost more light here. That's why we use big source light as a fake. We make it as a fake GI. So it's hidden now, but you can feel the light. All the light GI here, it's come from the one spotlight. Is that correct? But actually, it's come from 2 lights. Okay. So when you have different light here, just as I said, put a small radius in your light props and then add one big point light. If you are working the games, be careful, don't add a shadow for the point light because the point light costs 6 shadow in the place. But the spotlight costs only 1 shadow in the place. Okay, what does it mean? If you put the object, here's the object, for example, okay, and I have this spotlight. This spotlight just casts 1 shadow. There is no more shadow, just 1 shadow in 1 direction. But if you are using point lights, it's good here. You see now the shadow, it's cast in 6 ways. So it's cast from ups and down and left and right, ups and down, everywhere. Okay. So that's cost more performance in the engine. So we never use shadow in the point light. We always use the shadow from the spotlight if you want to add a shadow. Okay. So but if you have small radius, you can use it. Okay. But very, very small radius. Okay, you can use it for sure, but not in the big place. No, there is a sun, but it's not affected. You see, I hide it. But you can feel the sunlight here from this. Yeah, outdoor, I put the sky HDRR light. Okay, if I want to bring sunlight, for sure I can. Here I put this light. Oh, okay, I am not visible. You see here, boom. I have my. Oh, wow, whoa, 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 whoa. It's back here. Just you can use this. Okay, but as I said, I don't need to use the sunlight here in this scene because it's a sunset already, and I don't need to add any hope come from the window because God rays sometimes it means there is a hoping. Okay, so that's why I turned this off, but I fake the light come from the window as a spotlight. Yes, the point light should not cast any shadow. Okay, but spotlight, for sure you can cast shadow. And I talk about the games, okay? The game techniques. not movie techniques. In movie, you can use whatever you want, but in games, you can't. Okay, it's the same thing. It's happening here. If we go to the second floor here, okay, you see here to fake shadow, I put spotlight, not the point light. One here and one there, and this light, there is no shadow, just small radius. And here to fake this light, I add the GI lights. Okay, so now you can get this. These steps, if you use in your scene, I think you will get a more nicer feeling. Okay, and for sure more technical. So when you apply in any company as a lighting artist, and I mean game company, they gonna ask you about this. What about the lighting overlapping? How many lights you can put in your scene? All of these things you have to know, okay? Because it's important, and you might be the best lighting artist ever, but if you don't know how to use the light as a performance in your scene, you will not pass in the interview. Okay, so yeah, one more thing, when you build your environment, try to add more time in your objects and try to spend more time in your object. For example, this chair I made it by myself. So when I made it, I tried to make the leather, it looks more real, more realism. So I made my own textures in Substance Designer to make this scratches, because this chair, it should be old, and also I try to get some reference from Google to see what's happened when the leather comes older. So this is a little thing. It's gonna make your scene more realistic too. Okay. So yeah, you see here, for example, I add here some whips. This lamp, just say yes, this lamp, it's high, but it might have some couples in the lamps. Okay. So yeah, I think that's everything I want to show you. I hope you enjoyed, and now I think you will have more vision about how you can set up your lights in the scene. Please always use Google. Google has everything, and try uh, to look at the more reference. If I open my art station here and show you my collection here, you see, every day I open art station and I start to see the different image, and the image that I like it, I like it or save it to just back after, because I might use it in my scene. It's very important for you to have this reference, okay, in your side, because it will help you so much when you start working in any scene. Okay, so yeah, that's everything, and thank you for sure for your time, and I'm ready for any question.
You said.
So yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much, Karim.
Pleasure.
That was really great.
Thank you.
I know some people had set of questions. If you have them now, raise your hand, type them in the chat, tell us what you want to know. But again, thank you, Karim. The session was very informative.
Oh, thank you. I'm so happy.
I'm not even a 3D artist, and I think it's going to help me.
Glad to hear this. Thank you.
Okay. Oh, we do have a question.
Okay.
Rafif, go ahead.
Okay.
Hi,
about
Karim. It's
hi.
finally good to talk to you.
Oh, hi.
Uh,
Thank you.
We work together at Backyard, so
Oh, really?
yeah, we
Oh.
worked together for like 3 years.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So it's finally good to talk to you
Yes.
and
Yes.
not just text on Slack.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. So I was wondering, do you also work on your are you also in charge of particle systems? And if so, how do you like to use them?
For what?
Particle systems in
Oh,
setting the
particle.
environment.
Actually, I'm not using a particle system, but particle system, it needs someone has more experience in the Niagara and particle. Because the particle it costs a lot in the performance, but in my own environment, yes, I'm using for sure because it's gonna be still images, not gonna launch it for the games or use it
Yeah.
on any console. But the most of my particle system, it's free. I download it from marketplace or use it from another scenes. But I never create my own particle because it's not my experience.
Yeah.
And it needs someone has more VFX side.
Yeah.
To have more knowledge about this.
What about shaders? How do you use ready-made shaders to translate your environments?
Okay, for the shaders, it's side to side with the colors. But when I use the shaders for anything, I am looking for the real life because if I use most of my scene, it's realism. So I try to get some reference about the real textures first. If I am gonna create the rocks, for example, I try to go and take some picture about for the rocks or try to search it on textures.com or Google. Textures because I like to do my own texture and I spent about 3 years to just learn Substance Designer. So I'm really prefer to use Substance Designer to create your own texture. But to get a real texture and the real shader, you have to see this texture first in the real life and try to feel this and to try to be close from this because each textures have a different type of details. Sometimes the image is not enough to show you the details, but when you actually touch this object, you will see how far you have the details there. If there is some dirt, some dots, some scratches, some break on this texture. So before if I open one of my scenes here, I spent about a week to just take some photos for the textures, and I went to many places to try to take a picture for the take picture for the textures. When I have this kind of frosted here, it was very hard because I used the V-Ray at this time. So my idea here to say, okay, this place it should be has many rusted in the place, so it should be in the end comes or put in the on the background on the floor. So I tried to search a lot and took some pictures about how the rusted in the end comes in the floor. So it's very important to see your own picture or what you in your mind in the real life. So take your camera, take a photo, and it's gonna be funny for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Karim.
Oh, my pleasure. You see here, there is some details here. Only get closer. Also, the wheels here, I add some dirt here in the wheels here because these wheels should be moved to just come this place, so it's not clean. So you try to be careful about each object you put in your place. This place should be have some dusted, rusted, or it's clean. So yeah, you see here.
Yeah.
Some breakdown. So yeah,
Thank you.
my pleasure. Thank you. Any more question? I saw a question about the baking. Actually, it's hard now to talk about the baking, but baking, the idea of baking, it's basically about your UV. You have to understand how you create your own UV correctly. So there is something is called trim sheet to use in your texture in the games, especially in the games. If we open Google here and say trim sheet, and you will wondering because trim sheets use in the most of the games and used in everywhere. This, for example, this trim sheet, it's a texture, it's stylable texture, but the idea here you can use in everywhere. You can use in any place, like Hitman games or let me find. Yeah, we can open this one here. You see here, this is the object. This object is very low poly, but with the trim sheet, you feel no, it's not low poly. You feel it baking, but actually it's not a baking. It's just material, and these techniques they are using in the most of the games, even AAA games. To make the building like this, they are using one trim sheet. It's not visible here, but for example, this trim sheet, you see, you can start to take this part and put it in your UV. Picking light specifically. Okay. Okay. In the engine, to pick the light, you have two ways. You have to put your light as stationary. That's mean when you have the character move on, or in any object, any movable object, this object, the shadow will be changing. Okay. Okay. Yeah, that's a good thing. Let me show you how we can do this. Okay. In the light, we have three different of light. The first thing, it's called static. That's mean everything here, it's gonna be baked, and there is no movement here. Okay, so if I put the light as a static here, recalculate, yes, sure, but if you are not using the game, if you not export it as the game, don't care about this this message, just skip it. Okay, because he told you you have some lights you have to rebuilding, but it doesn't matter to build it. Okay, I never picked any light in my scene. Okay, but as I said, if you are, for example, if I need to export this this scene as a game, I have to put my light as in static, and some of them is stationary. Okay, the difference between static or stationary, static, after you pick the light, if you move any object, you will see the shadow is still in the same place. Okay, because it's baked on the UV. But if you put your light as stationary, if you move any object, the shadow will follow this object, but it's costs more in the performance. So that's why the most of the games use the static light and just put one source light as a movable, okay, to have the shadow. Okay, but if you are not planning to export your scene in the game, don't care about the baking, because the baking you have to know first how to create your own UV, because the UV, it's everything about the baking. Okay, so yeah, that's about it. Any more question? My pleasure.
There was somebody else wanted to ask a question, but I don't see any hands raised. Oh, you do have a question. It's in chat. It's somebody saying that they focused the story on their last project and made very bad lighting that they didn't notice until they posted it. And they get some comments, but they can't fix it because they made the lighting as it should be in real life. They're asking how they can fix it. It was a night scene in a narrow street between buildings.
Okay, so the first thing you have to use some spotlight if you are talking about the night scene. So that's mean you have some light in the street, the street light. So there is two things I think it's gonna be work very well: the fog light, the fog system, and I can show you here quickly in the engine. So if we start. Here is the dark, okay? So I will use this spotlight. Yeah, sure, please send it to me. Okay, and I will say that's volumetric 10, and then add fog, exponential fog, and use fog here. I think it's a good way to use this kind of light in your place. Okay, you can start use them, and also you can use HDR light and add any HDR light at night and just change the color. I'm not sure if I have something at night here. I'm not sure, but maybe 01. I didn't receive your image. I don't know if you sent it or not, but for the street, you can use this type of light. I think it's gonna be works very well with the fog for sure, because with fog you can make some depth in the background, make hazy, and also try to pack to the Google. So street night time. Close everything here. Oh yeah, the light networks. Well, for the thing you have to get reference. You have to get reference for sure. Let me open something here. Yeah, maybe this one. I think there is a tutorial in YouTube. I made it before for this scene. I will find it and I will send it to you. You can use the same tips here. If you have a window, just add the light from the window. Just start to put the secondary light and then add your key lights. Okay, so if I pack here, I would prefer to start to add your secondary light. That's mean I put the light in the window here and don't make it white. Try to use it as a yellow maybe. I think you can add one spotlight here and add a fog. It's gonna 100% better. Okay, and here you have a depth here, so you can add one big source light here, and if you add a fog, you will have some depths in the background, and add the sky. Okay, I think that's gonna be works very well with you. Let me open Google. YouTube. I wish to find this tutorial. Playlist. Oh no. Offering lights. This is my lighting course too. It's free now in YouTube, so you can watch it. No, I don't think I uploaded yet. But best practice, you have to find first some image, some reference image. So I think if we, okay, I think if we can say North Street between building, nighttime, and we can say 3D. I think I saw many 3D scenes before like this. Yeah, for example, this one, you can use it. Or Narrow Street, nighttime. Just try to do some research on Google or ArtStation. Narrow Street, we try to search here. I think you will find a lot. Well, yeah, maybe this one, but this for more China. And also, if you have something near from you in the real life, just try to go there at night and take some photos. I think it would be helpful for sure. Okay, so yeah. But as I see here in your scene, let's copy this and put here. Okay, so here you can add fog light here. Okay, you see it started to get something nicer here. Okay, and here if you turn this to yellow, or you can bomb. I just do something very quick. Yeah, that's what I mean. So you can use two of them here and add GI lights here. So the GI light should be light this area, and then, but make this very less light. So just cast. The light should be bounced here. Okay, this area. Okay, and add backlights here. Okay, so it's gonna light your object there. Okay, and here your spotlights, big spotlights, come here with the fog. I think you will have a nice nice scene, because now you will make it's a yellow color, and here the blue, so that's you make the color harmony. I think that's it. So if you can take the photo, so as I said, just try to search online. Or you know what? Maybe a Ratatouille movie. Ratatouille movie. Rat. So. Oh, street. I don't remember in which scene, but there is a scene in Ratatouille movie. It's really good scene. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, it was your inspiration. So back to this movie, and there is a scene. Linguini speak with a rat for the first time. There's something same place there. I think it's gonna be very nice to to try to take some reference from this movie. Yeah, that's it. Any more question? Yeah, it's one. If there is no more questions, so I have to go. So thank you.
Amazing. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Karim. Wallah.
Oh, thank you.
Like this was a really great course and we really enjoyed having you. Very
Thank you.
informative.
Yeah, and sorry again for my language. I know الانجليش بتاعي مش كويس قوي لان انا برضو بتعلم فرنش فبنسى كتير حاجات
لا
I'm
لا
very
ما
sorry.
تعترف.
عندي حاجات كتير بتعلمها فالدنيا معايا بايظه خالص.
لا بس ما علي فهمنا عليك كتير منيح صراحة.
الله يخليك. Thank you. Merci. بس I am not active to be honest in Discord, but I have Discord. I will send it to you, but
well إذا بدك خليني أبعت لك invitation على الديسكورد تبعنا.
okay, perfect. Yes, please send it to me.
راح أبعت لك إياها هون. هيك فيك ترجع وتشوف كل الارتس اللي العالم.
Okay. ده أحسن بكتير. Okay, تمام. Done. I'm in now.
Amazing. well شكرا كثير لهاللسن كثير كانت حلوة.
الله يخليك.
وشكرا لكم إنه thank you everybody for coming and like joining us for this session. خليني